So the most important company in the entire world, Nvidia, is about to report earnings, and I don't really think that anybody is ready for it because it's going to be a humongous opportunity. If we look at a 1-year chart on Nvidia, check this out. The stock is only up 17% in the last year. But if we go look at something like an AMD down here, notice how much AMD stock is up in the last year, about 180%. So there's a discrepancy happening right now. Why is AMD up so much more than Nvidia? And is Nvidia ready to make a humongous leg higher? We're going to talk about it. But before we go into that, I just want you to really understand the magnitude of the situation when Nvidia goes and reports earnings and what it means for your portfolio and the entire market overall. Like, it's going to move your portfolio, it's going to move the market. Nvidia is a $5 trillion company. This is just going down a list of the largest companies in the world based on market cap. We don't even see AMD anywhere near on this list. What we see is Nvidia, the big dog. So what Nvidia does, what Nvidia says, it will move the market. And what do I mean by moving the market? I literally mean it will move the market. Nvidia is about 8% of the S&P 500, the most popular ETF in the world, okay? What about the NASDAQ? It's about 8% of the NASDAQ. And then what about the VGT index, which has been gaining a lot of popularity right now? 17%. So what Nvidia does and what Nvidia says, it is going to move the market, and it's definitely going to move my $1.5 million account. So what we're going to do in this video is break down exactly what Nvidia is doing, how they're likely to report, and the humongous opportunity that you could do right now. I'm going to post this video right after I record it to capitalize on Nvidia before they report. There's shares that you could do something with. There's options you could do something with. You could sell some puts. You could buy some calls. I'm going to talk about all the strikes, all the pros, all the cons, everything that matters in a very, very simple way. But before we do that, we're going to break this video down into two different parts. We're going to look here first at the customers of Nvidia to see what they're saying. Because if the customers are saying, hey, we're buying a bunch of chips like they're flying off the shelf, right? Then it's probably like Nvidia is going to report pretty good. We're also going to look into the competition like AMD. We're going to look into Broadcom. We're going to look into Marvell. We're going to see how their numbers look. Because if their numbers are good, it's likely that Nvidia's numbers are going to be good too. And then we're going to look at the companies that actually manufacture these chips, like the TSMs, the ASMLs, and the Microns. If they have a lot of demand for manufacturing of the chips, hey, maybe Nvidia's demand is good too. Maybe Nvidia is about to report a breakthrough table pounder quarter that sends the stock much higher. So let's look at this data here first. It's going to be a really good video, I think, if you just stick around and pay attention, because there's not many really good opportunities in the stock market that are on the level of Nvidia right now, in my opinion. So let's break through this right here really quick. This is CapEx from the major hyperscalers. We have Google, Amazon, Meta, Microsoft, and Oracle. Why are they called hyperscalers? Because they're hyper, meaning like really fast, scaling their data center capacity. So they're buying a bunch of chips is what a hyperscaler means. If we look at the trend of their capital expenditures, meaning how much money are they spending to buy chips, it's obviously going parabolic right now. And honestly, I think that this 2028 number is going to get revised and be much, much higher, into the trillions probably, to be honest with you. And if we slide to the left a little bit, we know that so many people are all worked up about, oh my God, like these companies, they have no free cash flow right now. They're blowing all their money on this data center build out. What if they never get an ROI on that? What if they lose money on it and they're basically making no money now because their cash flow is going down, but their expenditures are going up and to the right on a green line here? There's a lot of concerns about what's going on right now. But the trend is clear. The CapEx is likely to continue. The ROI is likely to be there in AI. And yes, this is likely to be the bottom for free cash flow, because in the coming years, when they start to monetize, when these hyperscalers up here start to monetize their data centers in a very productive way, which is likely to come in the next year, the free cash flow is going to jump. Then they're going to have all this cash on their balance sheet. Then what are they going to do? If they get an ROI, what are they going to do with it? Hey, if I can make more money by buying more chips, I'm going to go buy more chips. So then the capital expenditures could keep going up and up and up. And it's more of a tailwind for NVIDIA, AMD, Broadcom, etc. Now, that's part one. The hyperscalers are clearly spending money. Let's go into part two. TSM. This is a company that we've covered multiple times on the channel before. But look, the numbers don't lie. Earnings per share is going up and to the right. The revenue is going up and to the right. Why is that? Well, because TSM manufactures about 90% of the data center chips. AMD, Broadcom, Marvell, they just design the chips. They send a blueprint to TSM and says, hey, go build this for us, right? So when you see surging revenue and earnings per share for TSM, it says like, hey, there's a lot of demand in this space. Fine. What about ASML? ASML is a company that actually builds the machines that TSM then uses to build the chips. How is their earnings per share going? Up and to the right. How is the revenue going? Up and to the right. Again, checks another 2 boxes right there of, hey, demand is probably good for chips right now. Okay, let's go into Micron. Micron is the memory component on these chips. We all know Micron's been sending to the moon the last couple years, right? What is their earnings per share doing? Literally sending to the moon. EPS up and to the right, revenue up and to the right. So we just looked at the 3 companies here that actually help manufacture the chips. We just looked at the actual companies right here, the main customers of these companies, the hyperscalers that are actually buying the chips, right? But now what we got to do is let's look at a company like AMD, okay? How is AMD doing overall? Well, we could clearly see that their revenue is going up and to the right. We could see that their earnings per share is going up and to the right. Why is that? Because there's demand for the chips. From who? The hyperscalers right here. And of course, other customers too, but those are the big dot customers. Fine. What about MRVL? What are they doing? How is their earnings per share going? Earnings per share is definitely not as explosive as AMD's, but it's definitely going up and to the right. What about their revenue? Definitely going up and to the right. Of course, stocks follow the fundamentals in the long term. Revenue up, EPS up, stock goes up, right? Marvell just a little bit of a bubble up here. Pull back a little bit, it's justified. It's just normal volatility. So AMD looked good. Marvell looked good. What about AVGO? How are they reporting? Well, earnings per share is going up and to the right. Revenue is going up and to the right. And of course, the stock is following that up and to the right. So then if we go to NVIDIA, NVDA, what do we think their numbers are going to look like? Well, revenue is up and to the right. Earnings per share is up and to the right, and the stock is also going up and to the right, but in a bumpy way, and also not up as fast as the other companies here. Like, look, let's plug this in together in real time. This is a 1-year chart of Intel, Marvell, AMD, Broadcom, and NVIDIA, all thrown up here. What do you notice? NVIDIA is going up the least in the last year. It's only up 16%. Broadcom 22%, AMD 181%, Marvell more, Intel more. What is weird about this? What is weird is that NVIDIA is the company that's putting up the fastest growth, the best earnings per share growth, the best revenue growth at the best valuation level. This is like what I want to click with everybody here. You're getting the most bang for the cheapest buck. Look at this. 75% EPS growth, 71% revenue growth at a trailing P ratio of 36. Okay? What is Broadcom? Less growth, and a higher PE ratio, meaning a higher valuation level. So NVIDIA is more compelling than Broadcom, okay? What about Intel, INTC? If we take a look at that, really good earnings per share growth, but it's because they were coming off of negative numbers here, so it's kind of like skewing the data a little bit. But revenue growth is basically where the earnings per share growth is likely to be. It's not anywhere near this. So you're paying 80 times trailing earnings for much slower growth. Hey, what about MRVL? Growth on Marvell is not bad. But again, you're paying 75 times trailing earnings. What about AMD? Just compare it. Good growth, but 80 times earnings. So doesn't it become pretty clear, like when you look at NVIDIA and you say, I'm getting a lot of growth for not a lot of valuation, and a lot of clear trend right here of EPS going up and to the right, doesn't this seem like a table pounder opportunity right now? Like, doesn't it seem like this stock is undervalued? In my opinion, yes. And it's just underappreciated right now because, oh my God, it's a $5 trillion company. How could it keep going up? But just like all things in the stock market, it's going to follow the fundamentals in the long term, but not in the short term. So while NVIDIA stock has been down here really doing nothing compared to these other companies, I think it's a sleeping giant. And I do think that a spring is coiling right now on NVIDIA just because the fundamentals are so strong. And one last thing before I actually show you trades that I have on NVIDIA right now and trades that I think that could make sense right now. I want to show you just how good their profit margins are. So they just reported Q1 of 2027 earnings, which I understand it's not Q1 of 2027 yet, but they just changed their calendar year versus fiscal year. Their gross margins were 75%. The same quarter a year ago, they were 60%. So obviously way more profitable, right? And then how do they guide for the quarter that they're about to report? Remember, this was like 3 months ago when this report came out. Their margins are expected to be basically 75%, which is what they were when they just reported. Any company with a profit margin of 75%, like that is absolutely bonkers. That is absolutely insanity. And if we just look up AMD investor relations together really, really quick, we can see that they just reported earnings, and what are their profit margins? They're down here at 56%. So NVIDIA has an extra 19% profit margin on top of AMD, and AMD's valuation is much more expensive than NVIDIA. So again, it's like, hey, there's opportunity in this stock right here, okay? So here's the trade. Here's what I think is the move to do right now on NVIDIA. Of course, always keep your ratios in check. Never over leverage yourself on one single company. Even if the market falls 50%, you always have to be prepared for that and able to survive in that environment, of course, capitalize too. Because the market will be volatile. Like all it would take is China to invade Taiwan, and a lot of these stocks are going to fall down a lot. But you just never want to be in a situation where if that happens, your margin call, you're wiped out. You're going to pull a Leopold on us, right? Don't do that. So right now it's $209 per share. I honestly think that NVIDIA is like a $300 stock right now. The valuation is so cheap, the growth is so good, the demand for the product is so high, and based on all the data that we just talked about right here, I think this is maybe not going to be the play that's going to make you the most amount of money going forward. It might not make as much as like a Marvell going forward, but I think this is orders of magnitude safer. So what I would do is I would buy some shares of NVIDIA and plan to hold them for a few years. Don't stress about it. Don't look at it. Don't worry about the day-to-day volatility. Don't read what Michael Burry has to say about, oh my God, like the AI cycle, it's going to collapse and it's horrible. Go do your own research on it. Build your own thesis about it. Go listen to the earnings calls from AMD, NVIDIA, Meta, Amazon. Hear what the actual businesses are saying, not just people that have an agenda online that want to just, put a bullish thesis or a bearish thesis in your head and make you all nervous about stuff. Do your own research, use your brain about it. I'm okay to buy shares, hold them for a little bit of time. And selling puts, yes, I'm definitely okay to sell puts on NVIDIA, and we could just, do this together in my Charles Schwab account. And like I said, I'm going to post this video literally right after I record it. So we're going to go to NVIDIA, and before we do it, I just want to slide myself out of the way. A lot of people have questions about this. I have level 3 options. I have $3,000 cash in my account, but I have a couple $1 million of buying power and stuff like that. So my ratios are super de-duper always in check when I do option trades. So NVIDIA, we're going to go to a put. We're going to go to sell to open right here. Let's just do one contract to keep it simple. I'm going to pick an expiration date going out about a year from right now. Sorry, about 2 years from right now. And we're going to pick a strike. It's 209 right now. Let's go about 10% below. So we're going to go for about a 190 strike. Always want to fill on the mid. And you're going to see that I'm going to pick up about $2,800 in cash flow immediately when I go sell this put right here. My break even is going to be $28 minus the 190 right here. So it's going to be somewhere like the 162 range, whatever it is right there. My break even is fair. I'm okay to buy NVIDIA for 162 per share anytime between right now and 6/16 of 2028. And to be clear, this is a portfolio secured put, not a cash secured put. So this cash flow that I pick up right here, there's no opportunity cost. There's not $19,000 in cash sitting there doing nothing like a cash secured put would require you to do for this. My base portfolio is securing this trade. The S&P, the NASDAQ, some NVIDIA shares that I already have, great individual companies at good prices. That is what I'm willing to do on NVIDIA right now for sold puts. As for calls, I am willing to buy a call option on NVIDIA right now. So you go here, you go buy to open. What I like to do for calls is go to a similar expiration date, and then I'll go for like a 215 call, just a little bit out of the money. And I'm going to pay about $50 per share in premium to do that. So do I think that NVIDIA is going to be $260 per share by expiration date? Because that's going to be my break even. You just add this, and that's your break even. My answer is yes. I do think that NVIDIA is going to be much, much higher because I just said right now, I think that NVIDIA right now is a $300 stock. So do I think that it's going to get to like 260 or 265 per share by expiration date? Yeah, like I think it should be there right now. So I think that there's margin of safety in this NVIDIA trade right here. Now, to be crystal clear with everybody, I am not saying that NVIDIA must go up and they report earnings in a couple days. I am not saying that. What I am saying is that stocks are going to follow the profits in the long term. This is the profits for NVIDIA. This is the revenue for NVIDIA. You're getting a fair valuation level for a company that has 75% profit margins. They don't just get a profit margin that fat for no reason. They get it because they have pricing power and they have demand for the product, and it is the best chip on the market by far, in my opinion. So yeah, it's going to be volatile. I don't know what the stock is going to do when they report earnings, but what I do know is that 1 or 2 years from right now, the likelihood that NVIDIA is going to be much, much higher is pretty darn high, in my opinion. So I'm going to be patient. I have some allocation in my portfolio right now to NVIDIA. Yes, it's going to be bumpy. Yes, it's going to be volatile, but I don't care what the market does in the short term. I care about the fundamental value of the things that I hold in my portfolio. And if it's compelling, I will buy shares. If it's super, super compelling, I will sell puts, like I just said, 2-year portfolio secure puts. And if it's max bullish, table pounder, hit you in the side of the head with the 2x4 compelling, I will then go buy call options on the stock. But if it's not that compelling, I won't do it. But I do think that NVIDIA is compelling. And of course, my ratios are always in check. So if NVIDIA goes to 0, I'm not going to get a margin call. I'm not going to get wiped out. I'm not going to get in trouble in this brokerage account right here. I always want to keep ratios in check. So yeah, the backdrop of the S&P basically at fair value, the NASDAQ basically at fair value. Economy is okay. Interest rates are okay, but they're definitely on my radar. I know interest rates are going up a little bit. The economy is doing good. The labor market's doing okay. That decent backdrop right now isn't a bad time to invest, in my opinion. So when you have these generational opportunities like an NVIDIA or other companies that I'll talk about in future videos, it's worth it to be patient and allocate and just not stress about the day-to-day market movements, because we're trying to go from here to here, not like here and then make 3% and go to there. We want to capture the big majority of the move, as of course, like Warren Buffett wants to do too, right? He doesn't buy stocks wanting to make 3% and scalp it and look at these little day-to-day moves. It doesn't matter. I'm going from here to here. I think 2 years from right now, I wouldn't be shocked if NVIDIA was a $500 stock, right? It wouldn't shock me one bit. That is a move that I'm looking to capture. So that's the video. If you got value, like, subscribe, hype, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think. My option system, if you want to learn it, the whole investing system, it will change your life. Link below, 10-day stocks and options, transformation training. You got to check it out. Hundreds and hundreds of 5-star reviews. But if you don't want to do it just yet, that is okay. Watch a video right here, more into my option system. And I'll see you guys there. Have a good one.